Alright, hello everybody, it is Granite, and here we are back with another episode of Let's Play Assassin's Creed Unity. We are here in Paris, of course. We're going to go on and do some of these side missions, get some stuff done here. We're going to go do this Cult of Baphomet one first, I believe. Get some more Mooney. Some murder mystery here. Okay.
Il risque la chute à chaque instant.
Is he inside? It was there and then it disappeared. It's not what I want. I want Cult of Baphomet. Thank you.
If you wish to join the Cult of Baphomet, you must steal 2 holy chalices from the Cathedral of Notre Dame and bring them to me.
Okay. Well, we have a thing here for Baphomet. So Baphomet is an occult figure of worship, usually depicted with the head of a goat, featuring a large horns and sometimes with wings. That would really annoy me. Either put my wings in your picture or don't. Don't just sometimes give me wings. What about my wings is forgettable to you? I've got wings, for goodness sake. You always do with the goat's head, don't you? Well, buddy, give me wings then. Transcripts of trials of the Knights Templar seem to indicate that Baphomet may have been worshipped among them. Although that is inconclusive, it's possible that the Knights Templar brought these beliefs back with them from their journeys during the Crusades. We should still have a window open here from whenever we went in from the mission. We had to re-lockpick it, okay. Well, this one over here shouldn't be too bad. The other one might be a little bit of a pain in the butt. I don't have the double assassination yet.
Travailler la nuit et n'avoir peur de rien.
Right under their nose. And now I can't get out.
broken the law.
that again. I just used it once a bit ago. There we go.
Que diable se passe-t-il?
Well done. You are now a follower of Baphomet. Come to our ritual. The password is the Father of Understanding.
Hmm. We know that phrase, don't we? But with that, I think we can go down to get that cockade that's behind that one. That one gate over there, but we're gonna go do this one, murder mystery next, since it's right here. That wasn't me.
It's time to die, cop!
Hi. It had some more bodies to this murder mystery. Alright, so Ancestral Vengeance. Solve the disturbing mystery of the numbered bodies. We have the body of Paul Tarragon, signs of extreme violence. Body is marked by bruises, and the arms and legs have been broken. Okay.
Oh, monsieur, I am distraught. Who could have done such a thing? He had not a single enemy. All I know is there was an article in the newspaper that made him very upset.
Okay. Partially burnt letter, my dear Tarragon. I increasingly have sensed that I am being watched, no doubt due to the careless revelation of our true identities in the moronic interview given by BG. What a feeble-minded fool. As though people have forgotten. Take care, old friend. Your friend, A.D. Prossy, 19 Rue de Cheney. Okay. It looks like there's more clues upstairs. A collection of medieval torture instruments arranged in a display. We have Book of History of France, Volume 4. 4 sentences are underlined. God knows who is wrong, who is in the wrong. God knows who covers himself in sin. Disasters will fall upon those who condemn us here. Be it known that all who have opposed us and their descendants shall suffer by the hand of God. Jacques de Molay. Okay. Tarragon House newspaper. Readers, in this time of change, let France not forget her history. The Inquisition effectively ended in France well over 100 years past. Yet the descendants of the Inquisitors live and walk among us. Let us cast our minds back and recall those 3 infamous prosecutors shown in our engraving from left to right. De Nogaret, de Margeny, and de Paris. These 3 are identified by medallions with numerals, medallions which they proudly regarded as a numbering of holy rank. We know today that several of their children changed their names to avoid retribution. We discovered here in Paris a descendant of Philip de Margeny. He is the prosperous merchant Bernard Grimini of the Isle de la City. He gave us the honor of receiving us at his home at 6 Rue de Marmoset, where we admired his collection of thumbscrews and a chair studded with spikes, which he confided to us our family heirlooms. We have another book here. Author's preface. Many families changed their surnames. In this way, they retreated into their anonymity, thus avoiding the wrath of the victims and their victims' descendants. Okay, and there's still one more clue here, and it looks like it's down there. Roman number 2 has been written on the door in blood. Okay, then we have 2 areas left with clues. We have clue locations visited, 1 of 4. Looks like we need to go upstairs. Grimini House torture devices, a collection of medieval torture instruments arranged in display. So these people must be descendants of the Inquisition. Letter from Tarragon. Please be more circumspect in your statements. Only recently I have heard rumors of a woman claiming to be a descendant of Damole's line, nosing around at various archives. Centuries may have passed, but passions sometimes have long memories. We have another dead body here, similar to the other victim. This body is covered in decellerations. Broken bones break through the skin. A lifeless hand holds a pendant in the form of a key. It is possible that it was torn away from the murderer. Then we should have one more clue around here somewhere, which I'm guessing it's on the door. Because they had numerals at the last places. I'm not seeing that here. There should be one more thing here, though. Oh, it's up there. I see it now. And the numeral 1 has been written on the wall. Okay.
I'm sorry. Hello, my friend. Voici son histoire, aussi bien sans moi.
Probablement un voleur qui fuit les gardes.
There's a cockade up there. I don't see a quick way to get down from here, though. We just have to climb down. Alright, so here's our next place. Alright, another collection of medieval torture devices arranged in a display. There's 4 things here.
A woman just tried to kill me. Me! I managed to wound her, but she ran off. She grabbed a dagger, an heirloom. I twisted it away and stabbed her. This is her blood here.
Okay. Blood leads towards the stairs.
She fled through here. You can see the blood.
Blood leads towards the street.
Retenez votre bras.
Blood leads to the left. Blood leads to the left. Towards the graveyard. Towards the stairs. It's got a clue here, but there's nothing here. Oh, I just needed to close that in order for it to go this way. Blood stops at the door.
They glory in their ancestors' deeds. Vile torturers.
Okay. Statement of Handemole.
They glory in their ancestors' deeds. Vile torturers.
Well, I think it's going to be her because, I mean, we caught her in the act pretty much.
Their ancestors decimated the Templar Order. They deserve to die horribly. You should not have put me here. I was righting an ancient wrong.
Speak to the parent.
Any fool could have figured that one out, I imagine. Still, take a weapon if you like.
Cool.
Having trouble? It's a tough one, isn't it? Having trouble?
So here's all our clues that we got. And so the case summary. Descendants of some well-known medieval inquisitors have been living peacefully under aliases, anagrams of their forefathers' names until recently when one of them, Bertrand Grimini, descendant of Marginy, foolishly gave an interview to the city newspaper. The article exposed his address, and he was subsequently murdered. A large bloody Roman numeral 1 inscribed on his wall. However, Griminy managed to wrest a pendant with a key away from his murderer in the struggle. Griminy's friend Paul Tarragon, the first body discovered and then descendant of De Nogaret, was then murdered, and a bloody Roman numeral 2 left behind. The third descendant, M. de Procy, from De Paris, would have doubtless suffered the same fate, but managed to fight off the attacker. A blood trail led to the murder. Anne de Molay, descendant of the famous Templar victim of medieval inquisitors, she has taken vengeance for the descendants of her forefathers' torturers.
Tough one, isn't it?
All right. And that actually puts us right over here where we can look at this cockade really quick.
Ah, a new initiate. We're using the chalices you stole in tonight's ritual. Enter.
Étrange manière de faire de l'exercice.
The revolution.
His most revered leader keeps making unwelcome advances.
That old goat.
There we go. Well, it's all the cockades in this district. Excellent. Excellent. We have a lot of other things we can do here that can get us some money. Let's get out of here really quick.
The revolution is suppressing the cult of Catholics that has for so long suppressed us.
He who sows the wind harvests a storm.
Just because I don't like to let things just sit. Where is... We have a... one here. So this was the... Built in tribute to the sun, a square resplendent in nobility, 3 colors bright in 4 walls, now bedecked with liberty. Built in tribute to the sun. The one that comes to mind is this one. Maybe not. Built in tribute to the sun. I'm just reading back through these. There's a place up here I don't have yet. A square resplendent in nobility. And that might be this revolution place over here. Dun dun dun. On the Pont de la Concorde. The taking, the subsequent destruction of the Bastille would provide an unexpected and fortuitous supply of stone at a minimum cost. The stones from the ancient fortress were reused to build this bridge, which spanned from the Palais Bourbon to the Place de la Revolution and its guillotine. The bridge was completed in 1791 and named the Pont de la Revolution, later to be called the Pont de la Concorde.
Whose side are you on then? Exactly, you accusing you. I'm no traitor.
We have the Place de la Revolution, located at the very heart of Paris, between Champs-Élysées to the west and Jardin des Tuileries to the east. The palace, the place Louis XV was built in honor of the king in 1772. Its purpose was to evoke royal omnipotence. That's quite an intimidating brief to get. We would like this building to evoke royal omnipotence. Right, royal omnipotence. So is that like royal incontinence? No, it is absolutely not like that. No, of course not. No. So do you mean like royal impotence? Is that it? Not exactly. To be honest, I think we're going to need some new builders. It was the scene of the tragic festivities surrounding the marriage of the Dauphin, the future Louis XVI, and Marie Antoinette, in which, according to official figures, 132 people were trampled during the fireworks display. 23 years later, Louis the 16th was executed in the same plaza, now called the Place de la Revolution. Marie Antoinette would have followed a few months later. The guillotine was installed at the Place de la Revolution permanently from May 19th, 1793 until June 13th, 1794. In these 13 months, 1,500 men and women would lose their heads. Well, that doesn't seem to be it either. We got it here, so let's travel this way. And there is a couple locations here we haven't gotten, so we'll check them out.
Qu'il va se rompre le cou.
We'll grab this, and then we'll check out this database entry. Okay, so Louis XIV purchased the existing Hotel Vendôme as part of his Convent de Capucines to embellish the city and facilitate traffic and provide a setting for the statue of himself dressed as a Roman emperor. Louis XIV also profited financially by selling the land behind the house fronts, which the king had financed. All the prominent financiers brought in. These buyers represented the cream of Parisian high society. They were followed by the more modest tenants of the attic apartments, such as the Vigini. The statue of Louis XIV in Roman attire was inaugurated on August the 13th of 1699 for his birthday. It was hacked down in August 1792 to make canon. Hacking down statues of kings in order to make artillery is actually a storied tradition. The Americans did it to New York statue of George III during the American Revolution as well. Alright, so then there was another spot over this way.
Que signifie ce vacarme?
La Madeleine. Situated alongside the very chic Faubourg Saint-Germain, the Madeleine Church was primarily designed by Guillaume Martin Chateau, who drew his inspiration from Jacques Germain Sophia in the future Pantheon. In 1789, with the taking of the Bastille, the construction work ground to a halt. Only the foundations of the grand portico had been completed. On December 30th of 1791, work on the church was ordered to stop. The Revolution was hardly an advocate of religion. After his execution in 1793, Louis XVI was buried behind the church. In 1794, the basement was leased to a wine merchant who used it to store his merchandise. Only in the 19th century was the edifice finally completed. Would be a mild way of putting it, yes, or to put it another way, Templars. Looks like there's some criminals out back. And there is a relic here we can pick up. Now, this did mention something about the Pantheon. Which I think is a sun thing. Maybe not. I'm not seeing anything. You think it would be near where we picked this up. There's a lot of spots that we don't have. Well, Mars is Apollo. Maybe it's there. There are other guys around. They're gonna get upset when I do this.
I'll get you right in.
Alright, I should be heading towards it. We have the Ecole Militari. Once the domain of partridges, rabbits, and small game. This was it was in this former warren that Grenelle that Louis XV sought to build a military academy comparable with that founded by his great-grandfather, Louis XIV. The idea was to house and educate 500 boys from poor, preferably war-stricken families, and make elite officers of them. It was an undertaking primarily overseen and sponsored by the Marquis de Pompadour. As he wrote to her, I have approved the project since you absolutely want it, my beloved. 8 years later, the first classes were held, and one of the establishment's most famous pupils was the young Napoleon Bonaparte. Lieb de Roy, pupil of the king, aged only 15, he graduated as a second lieutenant and after a mere 12 months study.
Hold there, damn you!
Sorry, he stole something.
Ram this blade so far up your backside, your belt steel.
Le Champ de Mars. The name of this green space, literally Field of Mars, was a tribute to the Greek god of war, since its lawns were used by the French military as an exercise ground, surrounded by ditches and trees. It was nevertheless open to civilian populace and served as an occasional playground for the Parisian balloonists. It was thus a favorite leisure spot in Paris. It would be the scene of the revolutionary's key moment starting from 1790. On July 14th of 1790, despite heavy rain, a crowd of some 3,000 attended the Fête de la Fédération in honor of the anniversary of the storming of the Bastille. Sounds lovely. We must visit. On November of 1793, former mayor of Paris, Jean-Sylvain Bailly, was tortured for 2 hours by a frenzied mob in one of the field's ditches before being beheaded by a purpose-built guillotine. His execution was intended as an expiatory ceremony. Actually, I'll leave it. On June the 8th of 1794, the Champ de Mars also hosted the Feast of the Supreme Being, devised and celebrated by Robespierre, subsequently frowned upon as a parody by his Jacobin colleagues, which would hasten his downfall. Leveled and extended, it would offer Gustave Eiffel the perfect spot for his giant steel structure 140 years later. Thereafter, the Champ de Mars served as a setting for princely weddings, national workshops, and horse racing, followed by concerts and the imposing fireworks display in the 20th century. Still not what we're looking for. Let's go back here, and we're going to go over to the Louvre, since we don't have that technically in yet either. There's another spot along the river over here, too, we need to get. I'm not worried about the cockades going anywhere that we're revealing either, so we're just going to let them be. That's another Pont Royal. One of the Paris's older bridges. The original Pont Royal was a toll bridge built in 1632 to replace a ferry. It was commonly called Pont Rouge due to its red color, not to be confused with the tiny Pont Rouge that linked the city's islands. Over the centuries, the bridge has undergone several name changes, as well as several partial and complete reconstructions due to the flooding. Okay, we want to get this building over here.
Le Comte de Frou-Frou. I told you everything I know.
College of Quaternations.
Je crois que je vais avoir un haut de cœur.
We've been received 1 improved Phantom Bracers. Alright, so Cardinal Marzin, once a mere deacon with much to atone for and 12 million livres, part of his fortune amassed from governing France for 18 years, built this college as well as an annuity to house 60 fellows selected from 4 nations, namely the regions of Piedmont, Alaska, Flanders, and Artois. The college is one of the finest monuments in Paris. It houses the Institut de France and the superb Mazarin Library with its 2,750,000 volumes, of which many of which were recovered from those who were guillotined or who immigrated, as well as from Louis the 16th, labeled the Louis Capet. Hi, as Dasbra. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for the follow. So it also offers stunning views of the River the Seine. In 1793, this high palace of learning was transformed into a... can you add me? What do you mean, can you add me? This high place was a river of learning transformed into a prison, since Paris was essentially a huge prison at the time. Its first detainees included painter Jacques-Louis David, even though he portrayed Marat in his bath. Dr. Guillotin, advocate of a painless Republican death. Correct, I do not have Ubisoft Connect. And I don't plan on playing multiplayer on this. We're just running through on single player. And so, yeah, sorry, probably not. And Madame de Tourzel, governess to the royal children. The chapel went on to become a sugar store reserved to a privileged few. That's not something that you're correct. It's not something that I have. It's not something that, like, I don't use Ubisoft for any, like, friend stuff. I usually just do Steam. And, like, I don't really do a lot of multiplayer except with family, so I do apologize. We need to get the Louvre's account. We're still trying to figure out this this riddle.
Yes, I understand. Fine.
Du fond du cœur, merci.
Je crois qu'il triche.
Il est drôle.
Alright, so here's the Louvre. The Louvre would have been referred to in plural since it has been, in fact, several Louvre palaces since Philip Augustine inaugurated it as a fortress. Each new regime sought to leave its own particular mark on the edifice, starting with Charles V, the Wise. The Wise. I think that's a nickname I'd go for, better than than that guy called the Fat, or the other one who wanted to be known as the Severe, 2 worst nicknames in history. France's monarchs never seeks to embellish or improve the Louvre, which in Old Saxon means fortified camp, and which would become the Louvre. So this barbarian gourbi or shack became the largest place in the world, expanded and improved by France I, who had several sobriquets, including Francis of the Large Nose, as well as by Henry II and later Louis XIV. Okay, of the Large Nose, we have a new worst nickname. Hi, they call me King of the Large Nose. Well, be still my beating heart. Despite its impressive stature, the palace was snubbed by France's kings, who, starting with Louis XIII, preferred Versailles. The courtyard, known as the Pavilion des Sully, is overseen by a large clock. Louis XVI was the last monarch to use this palace as a household. So the only, like, I mean, we've been trying to find this sun thing. Reference to the sun. And I'm not seeing it anywhere. Come on. Is that it right here? Honestly? Really? It was the observatory. Or did we pick it up here? Do I need to do something to grab that? I am confused. Because the thing is right here. Okay, I'm gonna look it up because I'm standing right by a sigil. It says it wants us to go to the Venodome. Okay, well the Venodome is straight ahead. So there it is. Those wishing to enter Elysium's fields must first play the Farmer's Toll to pass through the Western Gate, where Triumph will soon stand tall. Alright. While we're here, we can get this cockade off top of this tower. Might as well. The next one would be what? Down. Is the one that we wanted? the western gate over here because
Ever got the wrong person. I'll be going.
there was a toll bridge near here. These are the fields where Revolution did stand tall with the beheadings and such.
Je parie qu'il avale aussi des époux.
The ship. Okay. This is where the Parisians who lived outside the ramparts used to gather, away from the mire and squalor of the city. It is a place for all sorts of outdoor pursuits, from the most innocent to those that were less laudable. The adjoining street was now the Avenue de Montaigne. Used to be called the Allées des Veuves, the Widow's Avenue, because women and worthy gathered there. Talk about a singles hotspot. The Champs Illices, who had its own special police force. Those reports give a highly colorful vision of the times. It was also the backdrop for political affairs. Paul Barras devised his conspiracy to overthrow Robespierre from the inn that belonged to Antoine Nicolas Doyen, which still exists today as the Loyden restaurant. Been there. Try the Rouget Lac d'un Geste du Betterave Acidule. Tell them I sent you, but do not use my name or refer to me in any way. By his own admission, we sought to agree on how to put an end to the excesses of the government committees and to help the National Convention to regain its existence. In the evening, the conspirators met at the local Lemondier. During the Reign of Terror, it was also the most inconspicuous means of passage among the unruly crowds due to the Bois de Boulogne. In order to hide, only a dozen police officers patrolled it. Suspects, escaped prisoners, draft evaders, and vagrants would hide there among the foliage and the thickets. Living the dreams, boys. Okay. So we're still trying to get to the... all the way to the gate over here.
Crois-moi.
There it is, right there. A most magnificent tower his great-granddaughter fashioned to surveil her subjects and the heavens, twixt the sun and earth encaged in iron. Now that one's the one where we were. Okay. Now, after all of that, let's head back here and do another mission. Let's go do... I think this will get us more sync points. So let's go do this. difficulty 2. Templars have looted Notre Dame and are smuggling the valuables through the sewers of the Hotel Dieu. Recover the artifacts. Be cautious. The sink will reset the memory. Stay undetected to maximize rewards. Did it not let me... Oh, I didn't want to play with other players.
The Hotel Dieu, the oldest hospital in Paris. Centuries older than the famous Notre Dame Cathedral, which is down the street. Hospitals, as we know them, haven't exactly been invented yet. So you're more likely to get sick inside than to leave cured. The Templars are using the building's sewers to smuggle out artifacts they stole from Notre Dame. Go in and get the goods.
Let's play in private. That's what I wanted. So I just pressed the wrong button. There is a button to play in private.
The Hotel Dieu, the oldest hospital in Paris.
So we watched that already. Could I have jumped there? Maybe I could have. Looks like there is a...
Rest in peace.
Damn moderate! You
Alright. He's watching.
Didn't dream that.
There's another guy there too. What do we have? Okay. I must escape the area now.
What's that then?
Alright, well, looks like I can go this way. I saw a guy up there. There we go. That didn't work. Oh my god, stop. All right, good deal. No, it's still on there. I don't really care for the fact that it's still on the map, but you know. Man, there's just a ton of stuff to do because like there's just more things on the map. It seems more stuff just popping up. Anyways, we are going to end this episode here. We do hope you all enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next time.